All right, Shalom. Kahalayim La, Alhalayim Noah, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, double honor to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Much peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word in truth and sincerity of heart. Shalom. This is the brother at the top, back again through the spirit with another lesson. The Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. This lesson is going to be entitled another historical wickedness, Jim Crow, or lynchings, and this is the history of our people and all of the treachery and evil that we've suffered under the hands of the so-called white man. And it's something that we should always remember. It's something that we should never forget that was done unto our people. It doesn't matter if so-called things may seem like they've changed, but things have never changed, because you have actual people, about Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, mainly Negroes, right now, that are still being lynched. You know, you lately they've been finding a lot of people as of lately that have been hung from trees, and it's been deemed a suicide, no foul play, which we know that is nothing but bullshit. Because why in the living hell will all of these people just be hanging themselves? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make no sense. People go missing and then just end up hung on a tree. It doesn't make sense. There's some evil afoot. There's some wickedness going on behind closed doors, and people. It got to be some very powerful people, or people that can cover these situations up. You know. So,
family affair.
I'm gonna play this video.
Gordon Parks remembers his first lynching when he was 9.
We live down here about 10 miles from Gainesville and over in Cummins, about 20 miles. And they had this slave cutting wood. Back then we had wood stoves, wood heated wood, and they left their daughter there, 17-year-old, and she was took a bath, was dressed, and got in front of the picture window, and this man was cutting wood, and he took and broke in and raped her and tore her clothes off of her, and then when she,
Wait a minute.
Wood. Back then we had wood stoves, wood heated
She was
wood.
taking a bath, or did she have clothes on?
They left their daughter there, 17-year-old, and she was took a bath, was dressed, and got in front of the picture window, and this man was cutting wood, and he took and broke in and.
Okay, my bad. I kind of misunderstood what the hell he was saying.
And tore her clothes off of her, and then when the parents come home, she told them. They called my grandpa. He was the Grand Dragon, and my daddy was he was the wizard, and my daddy was the Grand Dragon, and they got.
You know, there's a common theme behind all of these situations. You know, the common theme of these situations have to do with a so-called white woman. It is undeniable. Look at the Emmett Till situation. Look at the Tulsa, Oklahoma situation. Look at the Rosewood situation. All of these atrocities are coming. They start by something happening to a white woman. Isn't that
about 100 people, and went over there, and we went and got him. And Grandpa said I could go with him. We went to the house, and this Klansman got him. We took him down the road, dirt road, standing. They paved one paved.
Esau being a vigilante, you know, look up, you know, we're gonna go get into what a vigilante is, you know, taking matters into their own hands.
Then took him down there in this big old tree, and there's about 200 down there. And they set him down, had his hands tied behind him, and Grandpa asked me, told my daddy to let me ask anybody to have anything to say, you know, before they pull him up the tree and hang him. And I asked anybody to have anything to say, and one man said, yeah, I got something to say to him. he opened a big old knife. It had a blade on it that long, I reckon. He took and cut him from ear to ear, and then they put the rope around his neck and pulled him up in the tree. And we stayed there about an hour. They hung him in the trees to be sure he died before they left.
Lynchings in the South had soared to record numbers. In 1919 alone, over 90 African Americans were lynched, and nearly one lynching every 4 days. Southerners in the 1920s.
And this is what is it? Southern fruit, southern trees bear strange fruit. Southern trees bear strange fruit is an opening line of Strange Fruit, a powerful protest song written by Abel Maripool and famously recorded by Billie Holiday in 1939. The haunting lyrics use the metaphor of strange fruit to describe the lynching of African Americans in the American South, which we're not Africans and we're not Americans. We are Israelites. That is our true biblical identity. We are the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the true sons of God, the Yashar Allah, Israelites. You see, that's who we are. That's our identity. And the prophecy of our suffering and the prophecy of our captivity and coming to America on cargo slave ships is written in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. That shows us who exactly we are biblically. That's why we proclaim that we are the true Israelites. We are the true sons of God. And you have done this evil against us. And you must pay. And we're living in a time where America's on the decline. All of the bloodshed and all of the evil that has been done in this place is coming back to haunt you. Nobody ever gets away with their crimes. Nobody ever is, basically you so-called white people have not gotten away with your evil, with your crimes of the past. And it's just, the Most High is a judge, right? He judges things, and he's going to judge you for all of your wickedness and all of your evil and all of your murders, all of your theft, and all of your crimes that you've committed, which the word crime means sin. So southern trees bear strange fruit. The scriptures speak about what? This is another example to show you that we are cursed. Cursed whosoever hangeth upon a tree. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 23. It says his body, Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 22, it says, if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. See? And then in certain instances, in these lynchings, they left your body up there for a long time, man. Let you rot. It says, for he that is hanged on a tree is accursed of the Most High, that thy land be not defiled, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. So we are cursed by the Most High. And that's another example to show you that we're cursed. Because a majority of our people have been hanged on trees, man, lynched. And that's the history in America. So that literally lines up to what the Lord said. He said, cursed shall thou be in the field, cursed shall thou be in the store, roughly paraphrasing. So that right there is another example to show you that our people are literally cursed by the Most High. You see, Deuteronomy chapter 21 and 22 and 23. But this is a situation of grape. The penalty for grape is death in some instances. Like if the woman cries out, then she's supposed to be put to death. I'm sorry, no, she's not supposed to be put to death. The man only is supposed to. Let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this right. This is the book of Deuteronomy 22 and 25. It says, but if a man find a betrothed, let's see. Hold on, let's go back a little bit. Deuteronomy chapter 22. Deuteronomy 22 and 22, it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lied with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, that means he found her and he, raped her, so to speak. Then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. So if a man takes a woman that is married to a husband, and he forces her, or he just rapes her, and she does not cry out for help, so to speak, then she got to get put to death too. But if she cries out, only the man is supposed to be put to death. Verse 25, I think this is, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death, for as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. See? Then the man that lied with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and hold on, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a verse. Verse 28, it says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, that means no man has went into her, which is not betrothed. That means she's not arranged to be married to anyone, or she's not promised to anyone, so to speak. And lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto her father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. So there was different ways to deal with the situation of rape. When you look at the case that we just looked at, and we judge it biblically, she was 17 years old. We don't know if she was married or promised to be married to anyone, so we can't judge based off of that. But she was 17 years old. She was past the flower of her age. I'm not saying that this is right, but I'm just, what he did was right or not, because we don't know if they're lying or not. There was a lot of instances, there was a lot of examples where women lied. They had a taste for that dark meat, and they lied. It's been so many Israelite men, Jake men, that have been lied on by white women that had a taste for that dark meat. Okay, you get what I'm saying when I say that. They like Jake, and they will get with him, and if they found out, then they'll get him put to death by saying he raped me, which it was nothing but a lie. You wanted that man, and you desired to have that man, and you had relations with that man, and now you're getting him put to death because you don't want your secret to be revealed, so to speak, you know? And that is common. That was so common back then. You know, you look at what's going on today. So-called white women, they love Jake, man. It's been that way, man. So they put that Jake to death because he so-called allegedly raped that Edomite woman, which according to the law, if she wasn't married, you know, she would just have to be his wife, you know. But we don't expect Esau to follow the laws of the Bible because he's the wicked, you know, and he took it upon himself to murder him. Vigilante. A vigilante is a person who tries to catch and punish lawbreakers or maintain public law order on their own initiative without any legal authority or legal power to do so. See, there was a lot of vigilantes in those days because if you so-called committed a crime, they would take you and they'll lynch you. Draconian legislations. That would be an example of severe punishments for some of the most minor crimes. Look at what happened to Emmett Till. He so-called whistled at a white woman and then he got killed. That would be an example of draconian measures. You know, draconian measures. Not draconian laws, draconian measures. Well, laws in a sense as well. Draconian measures are rules, laws, or actions that are extremely severe, harsh, or cruel. See? It says people use this term when penalties or controls are far beyond what is fair or necessary for the situation. See? So there have been a lot of draconian measures in the history of America when people allegedly committed certain acts of rape or whatever, and they was put to death. But according to the law, depending on the situation, you don't supposed to put them to death. If the woman was married, she's supposed to be the man only supposed to be put to death if she cries out. If she's married and she doesn't cry out, then the man and the woman are supposed to be put to death. So even within that, it shows you that how Esau's laws are unrighteous decrees, and it's not fair. And I'm not excusing anything. You know, I'm not excusing the situation for that Jake, that what happened to him. Who knows what really happened? But I don't trust the word. I don't trust these devils' word at all, because they always looking for a way to put a Jake to death. Isaiah 10:1, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." You know, so unrighteous decrees or laws or ordinances or ways or measures that are not according to the law, statute, commandments of the Bible. They don't line up. They're totally against the Bible. In a lot of these situations, when a Jake was accused of a crime, he didn't stand a chance against the laws, you know, because he'd just get put to death. Our people didn't have no rights. So if we committed certain laws, and even if we didn't, they just got to get get enough accusers to say that I did something when I know I didn't do it. And guess what? That's enough evidence. A jury of your so-called Edomite white peers, have declared you guilty. Why? For no reason. Because of that perpetual hatred that they have for us, man. The scriptures speak about that. And when they had their opportunity, when they had the power over us, they enjoyed it, man. Postcards. We can't forget about this history, man. We can't forget about it. I typed in people found dead recently. Hold on. No, that's not what I found. All right. It says in August 2026, two notable and widely discussed investigations involving individuals found hanging include Tasia Fortune in Jackson, Mississippi, an adult male in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. If you are someone who is struggling in the crisis, blah, blah, blah. See, called a suicide and crisis lifeline, because they're deeming these lynchings or these people being hung as a suicide. To see a fortune in Jackson, Mississippi, it says discovery on August 3rd, 2026. To see a fortune, a 29-year-old black woman of 4 was found dead hanging from a tree behind a vacant house in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, why the fuck would she hang herself behind? What is the meaning? Why? It says the Jackson Police Department opened an active death investigation. Authorities stated that autopsies and official findings are pending to determine the exact cause and whether foul play was involved. See? Now, is it possible that these people are finding a very strange way to kill themselves? Yes, it's possible. But I don't trust these devils. I don't trust them. Not even for a second. Not even for a millisecond. I don't trust them. If they tell you to go left, I'm going right. If they tell you to look up, I'm looking down. You get what I'm saying? You follow me? I don't trust these devils, man. Sirach 12:10. It says, I'll never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So, I mean, they say it's no foul play. I mean, I don't trust that judgment until I can look at the footage or look at everything myself. Don't trust what they have to say, because they can easily, those that are in power can easily cover up a situation. Look at the Nolan Wells situation. That's a cover-up, a mass cover-up. So, never trust thine enemy. Never trust an enemy. We know who our enemy is. The enemy of our that has been constantly showing us period every hour of our existence in America. He has been showing us that he is our enemy. Let me type in something. What classifies someone as your enemy? What classifies someone as your enemy? It says an enemy is someone who feels active ill will towards you, wishes for your failure or injury, and intentionally works against your well-being or goals. Now, who does that sound like? Take our nation, so take so-called black people and put them in that category. Who is their enemy? Who is the one that's feeling active ill will towards them and wishes for their failure and injury and intentionally works against their well-being and goals? Take the nation of Israel, which I use black people just for, that's the top modern term, but take the nation of Israel, right? Take the Israelites, so-called blacks, Native American Indians in America. Who fits the description as their enemy when you line this up? It says core traits of an enemy: active opposition. It says they try to block your success, harm your reputation, or get in your way on purpose. Now, who does that sound like? Right? Let's keep reading on. Ill intent. Their actions stem from malice, hatred, or a desire to see you suffer rather than a simple difference of opinion. Now, who does that sound like? To the Israelites and the people in America, who does that sound like? Who has been in constant opposition to us? Who has been acting with ill intent towards us for generations? I'll wait. Lack of trust. They deceive, lie, or betray confidence when it serves their interests. Who does that sound like? How many peace treaties were signed? Over 400, right? And how many of them were kept? 0. They deceive, lie, or betray confidence when it serves their interests. I wonder who that sounds like. Enemy or someone who dislikes you. A person who dislikes you might gossip, avoid you, or act odd, but they generally leave you to live your life. An enemy steps into your space with the clear intent to undermine or damage you. I wonder throughout history of America, who has that been to our people? I'll wait. Let you think about it. It's very cut and dry, but I'm just joking around, man. I know we know who this is. So the scripture says never trust an enemy. Well, I just went to Google and I typed in what are the characteristics or what classifies someone as your enemy, and what does he do to you to show you that he's an enemy. And the so-called white man has done all of these, which we say so-called because that's not your true identity. Your name is the Esau Edom, the nation of Edom. You have done all of these things to Israelites here in America, so that classifies you as our enemy, without the shadow of a doubt. In modern day, these people being found hung on trees, the lynchings of America,
Southerners in the 1920s and 30s. Lynching was a family affair.
The enemy is.
Gordon Parks remembers his first lynching when
And all of this evil, all of this wickedness, man, you're gonna pay for it. You're never gonna get. The Most High is not gonna clear you. The Lord say He's not gonna acquit the wicked. Let's get that real quick precept. Nahum chapter 1 verse 3, it says Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahweh hath His way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of His feet. So the Most High would never acquit the wicked, man. So you got to pay for all of them, all of those murders, all the things that's been done here on the soils of America. All of that's going to be paid back in the times we're living in now. That's why America's being, slowly on the fall and on the decline. And this place is going to be totally destroyed by nuclear fire. That's the judgment that the Most High is going to bring for all of the evil that's been done over here. And just wanted to get just another example of historical wickedness that has happened upon our people, among many others. So Lord willing, I'm going to close it out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh.